miss you guys. His brothers led massive search parties throughout all the kingdoms, but they never found a trace of him, Lambton said sadly. Fortunately, some good came out of the search. While on the road, Prince Chandler came across Snow White in her glass coffin, and Prince Chase discovered Sleeping Beauty asleep in her castle, and they both broke the spells put on them and were married. That's incredible, Alex said. So, if Prince Charlie never went missing, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White would still be unconscious. That may be, Lambton said, and since his brothers took all the eligible princesses, Prince Chance had to put on the ball where he met Cinderella. Everything happens for a reason, I suppose. Alex and Connor couldn't stop staring at the portrait of Prince Charlie. There was a sad energy in this part of the hallway, and the twins were especially sensitive to it. The long-lost prince couldn't have been much older than them when he'd gone missing. Lambton clearly appreciated the twins' interest. Now, follow me. I have something very special I want to show you, Lambton said. Lambton led the twins down another hallway that led deeper into the palace. This part of the palace was completely vacant, and it made the twins more and more nervous as they walked. They had no idea where Lambton was taking them, and they were too timid to ask. They rounded a corner, and at the end of another long hall was a pair of black doors. There were 2 guards on either side of the doors, and a large stone arch above them with a sign that read, Queen Cinderella's Royal Room of Display. Alex and Connor looked at each other with light in their eyes. They had made it. Hello, Sir Lambton, one of the guards said. Good evening, Lambton said. He pushed open the doors and the twins followed him inside. They set their bags down and looked around the room. The display room was a wide chamber with white pillars and a sky blue tiled floor. The ceiling was domed and covered in golden stars. The room was illuminated by moonlight coming from a large window in the back and then reflected throughout by a series of hanging mirrors. Several special objects were on display and placed on the top of short pillars and surrounded by thick glass cases. Brooms, buckets, and old raggedy dresses were all put on show. A family of mice lived in a glass case in a miniature replica of the palace. In the very center of the room were Cinderella's glass slippers. They were beautiful and petite, made from pure crystal glass and decorated with diamonds. The twins could feel their hearts sink into the pits of their stomachs as soon as they saw them. They were so close. Those are beautiful, Alex said. The slippers had put her in a trance. I'm quite partial to them myself, said a soft voice that didn't belong to Alex, Connor, or Lambton. Sitting on the windowsill in the back of the room was Cinderella herself. They had been so astonished by the display room they hadn't even noticed her. Your Majesty, Lambton said, please forgive me. I didn't see you there. I was just giving some guests a tour of the palace. Quite all right, Sir Lambton, Cinderella said, and walked across the chamber to greet them. I like to come in here occasionally after long days to clear my head. Who might these 2 be? Alex and Connor couldn't speak. They were completely starstruck. This is Alex and Connor, Lambton told her. Pleasure to meet you, Cinderella said and held out her hand. We're big fans, Connor said and shook her hand a little too hard. Alex couldn't move. You're like my hero, Alex said to her, and that's all she could manage to say. Thank you, sweetheart, Cinderella said. Welcome to my little room of memories. It's remarkable, Alex squeaked. Would you like me to show you around? Cinderella asked. Alex still couldn't move her limbs, but was able to nod. Cinderella began a small tour and took them around the room to each of the items on display. These are the brooms and buckets I used to clean my stepmother's house every day, Cinderella said. They were my first dancing partners. I remember whenever I was home alone, I used to dance with them around the house and pretend I was at a big royal dance. Although I must say, They weren't the best at conversation. Cinderella and Lambton laughed. Alex and Connor were still in shock that they were in her presence. They were standing next to Cinderella, and she had a sense of humor. Over here are my raggedy old clothes that my fairy godmother turned into a beautiful ball gown, Cinderella continued. They're not much to look at now, but whenever my fairy godmother visits us, they turn back into the beautiful ball gown she created for me. That's really cool, Connor said. Hi guys, miss you.